Are we going live now? Okay. Perhaps તારું phone number આપી રાખજે પછી. If you don't mind, send me your phone number on the chat box or wherever. Okay, it's time for prayers. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Jai Baba, everybody. Firstly, I would like to welcome our one and only Mr. M.S. Irani, Meher Baba. Not only just invite him, but to help us conduct this entire program as per his wish. Because it is only his wish that prevails in this world. Nothing else matters. Today, we have with us a very active and popular lady called Roshni, who will be sharing her experiences, lives, and times with Meher Baba. She may also sing in between, and everything else that comes out would be as per Baba's wish. Before I carry on with the program, there are 3 people who celebrated their birthdays just recently. One was Roshni herself, then there was Utakshi, and then our one and only Rita. Rita's was about 2 days back. So if everybody wants to unmute and sing, let's sing and then mute back again, okay? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Roshni. Happy birthday to you.
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. This is nice, starting on a very happy note. Chalo, Roshni, all yours. Go ahead.
Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you, Baba, for this opportunity. Thank you to all at the Bombay Center, Sam Uncle, for thinking of me, and for Baba to make it happen in the birthday week almost. Birthdays are such that from the beginning of the month till the end of the month it goes on with people realizing it is your birthday. And in Baba's love, I always believe there is nothing preponed or postponed. Everything is on time. So everybody's wishes, whenever they come, they are heartfelt wishes and they are embraced with Baba's love. So thank you so much for singing and sharing Baba's love here. I would like to begin by saying first that everything shared is shared in his love, and it is out of complete personal connection, personal limited understanding, personal feeling, personal emotions connected to Baba, that whatever will be shared. And in no terms interprets as Baba saying, doing, speaking, or anything of that sort. Second, disclaimer to forgive any mistakes in his love while singing, while sharing, and some quotes would mostly be words to effect, where contextually something has touched my heart, where I know that there is a main quote of that context, and I would share that words to effect. Some quotes I would share as Baba's words, which I will read out as is, and hopefully be able to share the source as well through those quotes. And the songs are interspersed, 2 3 songs that I wish to share today in Baba's love. And please excuse my voice, it is all Baba's, from bathroom to bedroom to satsang to samadhi. So it is all his will, and that is how the voice has journeyed. So please excuse for the voice not to be like a very professional singing voice or anything, but it is the voice of the heart, and that's what Baba loves. So that's what it is.
If it's not your professional voice, we will ask for our money back, Baba.
Yes, I will do something about that. So, firstly, I would like to begin this session with Adi K. Irani's prayer to Meher Baba, because this prayer is very, very important and has been integral to be with Baba in all these 12 years of being in Baba's web of love. This is from the book Just to Love Him. Beloved Meher Baba, bless us all, so that in the stress and strain of our daily life and the fluctuations of our mind, we learn to relax wholly and wholeheartedly and float on the ocean of your love and call for your breath of joy, your breeze of compassion, and your wind of strength to flood into every fiber of our body, every corner of our mind, and every space of our heart, to cleanse us all of our impurity and make us worthy of your love, of your obedience, of your service, and above all, your pleasure. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Baba, help us all to live this and to experience Him and His glory in everyone and everything, is the prayer that I had after reading this prayer a few years back. My journey is a very, connected and apt to the quote to effect that Baba has said, that no one until he wants and he wills and he wishes can even hear his name or know about him. I am born and brought up just about 5 minutes away from the Avatar Meher Baba Bombay Center in Grant Road, in a sweet, humble Zoroastrian family. But until 2010,
Almost neighbors, Roshni.
yes,
Remember?
yeah, but it was like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I didn't know about him, and till 2010, that Baba willed that I come to know about him as him. Though all the life before that, when I retrospect today, I can attribute and know of Baba giving signs of how he was there right from the birth. So, in connection to how he was there right from the birth, I open up today's session to sharing this connection with the number 33 with Baba. So, the chawl that we stayed in, the Parsi chawl, opposite Grant Road Station,
It's already
the room number. Sorry?
You listen to me.
Can you please mute? Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
So the room number that we stayed in was number 33. All my school life, whichever standard I passed, like, people, of course, girls would, go out of school, new students would come in. I myself repeated a class during my secondary section. And even though with all of that, my roll number right from nursery till I passed school was 33.
Arey,
I had two houses more that I had on rent, which were also 33. And I felt very close to the number. But when I got into this entire zone of coming closer to Baba's world, I always was intrigued. What is this repetition of 33? And then it went on to several other factors in life. And when Baba came into my life, it also connected to me thinking of Baba and seeing a 33 around me in some way or the other. Then a few years back, one of very dear Baba Lava Murthy uncle, who I feel is like an aloba in my life, somewhere Baba has put, you know, and he gave me this book by the Pune Center he had got at our satsang. And I had put the book in my bedroom on my shelf where all Baba books are. And many months, almost 2 to 3 months later, after that, one fine day while praying again, I had this thing of opening up the book and just reading. And those 2, 3 days, something about 33 again had come up. And I was saying, something has to be there with Baba. Why? The way it has been so strongly with me. And then I just finished prayers in the night, and I took on this book and opened it up. And the first page that it opened up in that thin book was the page on Sassoon Hospital, where Baba is born. And the right hand side page had a picture, and the paragraph opened up stating of, this is the maternity ward, ward number 33, where Mervan S. Irani was born. And it still gives me goose flesh. And with that, I go back to 2010. So 2005, actually, and 2006, I went through a life-death illness, and I almost touched his gates and came back. And I was in the films and media for almost 20 years, 18 years at that time. And uh, it was during the Mumbai floods that I had contracted leptospirosis, and then it went into something else. It was not diagnosed, and I became a medical guinea pig, where almost a year and a half plus of my life was wiped out. Not to forget the insurmountable medical debts that I went into at that time. And by 2010, along with survival, along with the medical debts, my home loan, and everything, I was touching almost 98 lakhs of debt, with 72 lakhs being my medical debts. And I had no clue from where I would pay off all these institutions, from where I would pay all these banks, and what I would do. But I had sleepless nights. I was also going through emotional turmoil due to my relationship matters. I had an 85-year-old father with me. And that's when in 2008, 2009 is where my spiritual journey started. It opened up on its own, whereby I could not pinpoint or fathom what is happening with me. I didn't know Baba at that point in time, and I was very close to Ganpati Baba right from childhood. So I, just like how Baba tells, I never really attributed Ganpati as God, or was fearful. I always had Ganpati as my best friend, my brother, and I also was. I remember in the industry, I was one of the only Parsis having putting Ganpati for Chaturthi. I still do. It is 22 years since I have Ganpati at home. And for me, it was just questioning every day, Ganpati Baba, what is happening? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? And as all this churning was going on, I opened up to some unexplainable spiritual gifts of, an inner voice talking to me constantly, telling me things to do. And I did not know what that was. I did not know. I never had a guru in my life. I never had anybody in my life who I could go to. There was no spiritual inclination. Who am I? What is this life? What is my purpose? Nothing of that sort. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. वो spirituality का एस भी नहीं था in my life. And out of all my passion and dreams to become a filmmaker, to win Filmfare awards and everything, suddenly it seemed that God was churning this, how to say, the chakki, the wheel, when you make a chas and when you make that lassi and you're just in full force accelerating process, it just seemed that every karmic thing was coming into a bhochal together, like God was leaving no stone unturned for complete destruction. And in 2010, finally, I got the courage to sell off a house that we had bought in 2010 out of some of my dad's savings, and I was earning well that time, so I could pay a loan and EMI, which got wiped off during those 2 years of my illness. And as everybody around me, no, don't sell the house, you can't get a house again in Mumbai, don't do this, I only had this one thought, that Ganpati Baba gave me this house so that I can release myself from these debts today. Because otherwise, I had nobody to pay me this amount and sleep peacefully. From where the hell would I bring 1 crore rupees? And as I was selling this house, that's the only thing that kept on going behind my head, that this is a blessing. This house came as a blessing. And I'm not going to sell it off with distress and with hurt and with despair. Why God is doing this to me? Why my home is going away and everything. And I prayed a very stupid prayer that Ganpati Baba, I've made every inch of this with your love. I've had all this loving furniture with so much of love. Gher जाएज तो जाएज, मैंने furniture रवा दे जो. Please give me a rented house in which the furniture will fit. Now somebody will think how stupid to ask for that, but it just came out of my heart as a very childlike, silly, whatever you may say. And then with great difficulty, I sold off my house and we moved into a rented house. And with, lo behold, God's grace,
Who's this house?
that
Haji? Who's this house? The one you sold off, where was it?
in Andheri only, it was in Mahada. The house that you came was the rented house that we first came into after shifting from there in 2010. In Four Bungalows opposite MTNL. So that's where we shifted. And see how God's grace works, that the EMI that I was paying for a 2-bedroom house was double the amount that he made me pay in rent for a 3-bedroom house. And how that came about from there, that is a big story by itself. But the thing is, at that point in time, I thought, ke mane mottu gher malus, because I prayed ke maru bodu furniture fit thai jaye. And I was like, thank you, Ganpati Baba. Thank you for getting me this nice big house. But anyways, then in September 2010, so Farzeen Somet are famous tabloid Baba lovers. We all know about them. And Farzu is my loving childhood friend. We have grown up together in Grant Road as well. Now, I was not aware before that Farzeen was connected to Meher Baba in any way. Baba's picture I had seen way back in school time in one of my friend's house. Now, Parsis have this habit of putting all, departed loved ones' pictures also together at the altar. So at that time as a child, I clearly remember, I thought, very sweet grandfather she has got. And I thought that Baba's picture, the older picture, was my class friend's grandfather. So of course there was no asking or anything about it. But then cut to years later, when my spiritual opening was happening, and Farzeen and I reconnected after many years during my hospitalization in 2005, 2006, just before her marriage, hers and Somit's marriage. And that is again miraculous how they came about, and we got to know of all the wrong medicines that were being pumped into me, and how I was being made a guinea pig of psychotropic drugs that were being pumped into me, to several other wrong drugs, and how I was almost smuggled out of the hospital during that time. But in 2010, I just felt this inner voice while all that was happening. I did a little energy, workshop that I was guided to. And then I was feeling that I have to do Reiki with Farzeen. And so I went to do. I didn't know, have absolute clue ke manasu karvanu, why I'm even going. But I got this that I have to go. So I went and did this, and that's where I again saw Baba's picture. And then Farzeen briefly mentioned about Baba, but then I was sure, okay, it is not my friend's grandfather. This is somebody else. And then the workshop was over, and about a few weeks later, I was about to go to Farzeen's house for some work. And it so happened that there was this one particular Hindi song that kept on hitting me every single day. I would switch on the radio, and this song would be on. I would be traveling in the car, and the car next to me, this song would be going on. So I went on, Arey Bapre, I su gayan chhe, why this song is keeping on coming, keeping on coming. And I had no clue why this was happening. Then on the day that I was going to Farzu's house, I would always sit and pray, try to little meditate in the car. So I was doing that, and then this song into my head. And after the prayers, as I switch on the radio, my driver switches on the radio, this song is going on. And I was like, today I have to know what this song is. I need the answer. And it kept coming. Listen to the lyrics. Listen to the lyrics. Hear the words properly. You have searched for me everywhere, at every doorstep, and now when I am coming to you, you are not recognizing me. These were the very words that went on, and I still didn't know what it was. I go to her house, we had a chat, we did our thing, we had our dinner, and at around 10:30 I was just leaving the house, and again I just get stopped and I see Baba's frame, and I asked, Are you never told me, since when are you with Meher Baba? And she said since quite some few years. And then I had a gap, and then I came back to Baba, and I said, give me some book to read. So now Farzu knows that I take long time to read. I can't read a book cover to cover ever, and that too fast, so never. So she thought, no, the book will not come back to her. So she said, wait, I'll give you a one book. No need to give me back also. And she gave me the small prayer book, the pink color book, and I put that into my purse and I went out. She said, whenever you want to go to Mehrabad, come with us and we'll go. I said, yeah, okay. And that's where it ended on that day. After a few weeks, and every night, and at that time a lot of churning was going on, I would have these unexplained, as I said, messages about friends, about myself, which there was no way for me to know about. And I would keep on questioning things. And one fine such day, while I was sitting, and a lot of garbage from my own childhood to be healed, thrown out, pela em kidelu, now remove it, now take it out, this is not meant for you anymore, throw it out of your system, let it go, forgive this person, and all these things would keep on coming. And one fine such day, it was that I got that remove that pink book. And I was in, which pink book? I don't have any pink book. Now this is about 2 months later from getting the pink book. And I was like, what pink book? Then I'm thinking, koi pink book che hamari paas hai? I'm seeing around in a few of my books that were there. There was no pink book. And then I just had this thing that there is a pink book in a purse. So I said, that book Farzeen gave me of Meher Baba, that must be. So I tried to search from the purses that I always used to keep switching to take. And I said, "Kahi purse lai gali Farzeen ne tha." And then out of the few purses I took out, and there came the pink book. So I read the pink book. I read the Baba prayers. I went through Oh Glorious, and I loved that Aarti right from the first time that I set my eyes onto the words. And I said, "Arey, such beautiful words." And वांची ने मैं मुकी दीदी पाची दीवा अगल. And रखने के बाद I never got back to it after around 4-5 days. Then it was 12th of December, which is my parents' anniversary. And I was praying again, and I was just saying, "Happy anniversary, mummy, daddy," and da da da. And I get this, "Go to Mehrabad, 18th December." So I said, "Okay, I should go." So next day I called up Farzu and I said, "Give me that email ID to write to them. I want to go to Mehrabad." They said, "Oh, when are you going?" So I said, "I want to go 18th December." They said, "Oh, December is full, and many people come and it is house full. So it's very difficult to get the bookings and stuff like that." So I said, "No problem, but I will try. If at all he wants me to come, I'll go. If not, so be it." So I just wrote the mail and I got the booking, and I went alone on my first trip. I didn't know anybody besides knowing Meher Baba for those few months. And on 18th December 2010 was my first visit back to my home of my eternal father. And on the first trip itself, I got to celebrate Mehra's birthday. I got to clean Baba's samadhi, and I didn't know the importance at that time, but it just felt good. Baba, pelli baar aavi, and I got to clean it. So it was only a happy feeling how you get when you get these little opportunities from Baba. And much, of course, later that I came to know of what importance it would be to touch Baba's samadhi and to have the blessing to clean it and to arrange the flowers and clean Mehra's samadhi as well on the same trip. And that was the first ever visit. And that was also the time when Baba gifted me the song Baba Tero Naam, which is from the tune of an old Hindi song. The tune came into the mind, but while I was sitting and crying inside the samadhi, the words just flowed. And I almost, kind of frantically came out from sitting out of the samadhi and quickly going to the shed area and trying to write down the words before I forget. And I will sing the song before heading on. Jai Baba. Baba Tero Naam, Meher Tero Naam, Baba Tero Naam, Meher Tero Naam, सबको सन्मति दे ओ भगवान, बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम। तू ही राम है, तू ही है अल्लाह, तू ही राम है, तू ही है अल्लाह, तू ही बुद्ध है, तू है कन्हैया, तेरे नाम की पूजा करके, तेरे नाम की पूजा करके मैं जाऊं धाम, तेरे नाम की पूजा करके मैं जाऊं धाम। बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम, सबको सन्मति दे ओ भगवान, बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम। तू ही रब है, तू ही है ईश्वर, तू ही रब है, तू ही है ईश्वर, तू है समुंदर, तू ही बवंदर, तू है समुंदर, तू ही बवंदर, तेरी गहराइयों में, तेरी गहराइयों में डूबा है मन, तेरी गहराइयों में डूबा है मन। बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम, सबको सन्मति दे ओ भगवान, बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम। तू ही है हंसना, तू ही है रोना, तू ही है हंसना, तू ही है रोना, तेरे दामन में सर झुक के सोना, तेरे दामन में सर झुक के सोना, तेरी गहराइयों में, तेरी गहराइयों में, तेरी परछाइयों में गम जाए गुम, तेरी परछाइयों में गम जाए गुम। बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम, सबको सन्मति दे ओ भगवान, बाबा तेरो नाम, मेहर तेरो नाम, बाबा तेरो नाम। हो मेहर, हो मेहर, हो मेहर, कर तू मेहर, हो मेहर, कर तू मेहर, हो मेहर, कर तू मेहर, हो मेहर तेरो नाम। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
It was beautiful, Roshni. Beautiful.
Thank you, Baba. So, as I came back from this journey, all my questions before that of why those things were happening to me, why whatever I went through in the hospitalization, why the house, why everything that I questioned of, why all of this was happening. There was never a why me, but I wanted answers to know of why all of this was happening, what was in store, what was to come for this to happen. And then was this big revelation of how when buildings go in redevelopment, Sam Uncle is staying in one, how the old dilapidated structure has to be completely broken down. And after breaking that down, all the debris has to be cleared. All the kachra has to be cleared. Sab kuch tod taad ke. Then a new foundation has to be dug 100 feet down Mother Earth. And then the new tower building that shines on the skyline of life is up and about. And Baba came with this revelation that this bhauchal, this destruction was required for my new birth, for my new life, for who I was to be, that he wanted me to be. And as that journey started, In these 12 years, I honestly cannot pinpoint and have not had any single event or a miracle, as we would call in general vocabulary, to attribute my love for Baba. There is no such event that I thayu and then I started believing in Baba, or this happened and then Baba became God for me. It was seamless. There was something that was flowing as if it is a natural state of being. And I don't know from where that grandfather of my school friend became God for me. And he almost handheld with such smoothness. We say no, smooth operator, that English song. We have danced a lot in Library Bar in President Hotel on that. I felt that Baba was this smooth operator and had brought me onto this new journey, which I did not know a dime about. And that was actually the joy as well. The joy of mystery, the joy of curiosity of what lies ahead. And at that time, I was getting a lot of messages for people and this and that. And then I kept getting to leave my job. And I was like, oh my God, I've just got out of so much of humongous debts and where to leave the job. I think all the medicines jo diya tha, uska side effects ho raha hai abhi. I should not be thinking of all this. But it went on pushing me that I had to leave my job. And that time I just finished. I was teaching in Whistling Woods, the film school in Mumbai, and I was in another production house job. And then in 2013 is finally when I left my film work completely to due to lack of vocabulary and words, I could say spiritual calling, to lead wherever Baba was leading me. And I did not know at that time, honestly, where the next bread would come from. Because I had just gone out of a complete wipeout with no inheritance or rich dad, rich husband, rich this behind me. It was only rich God with me and for me. And from there to here has been the journey with Baba. And in 2011, there was this big event that happened, which Rupamji, who was a Baba lover who is no more with us, she was in Mumbai first, then shifted to Pune. But she had this event at the Mithibai College Auditorium in memory of her mother's Shrad. And all Bombay Center people, everybody was there. And just 2 days before that event, I had got in my waking dream after my prayers that there are a lot of people in my house, and I felt this that I should call people and have Baba's satsang and talk about Baba's thing. And I never knew this one because I was not very social with anybody from the Baba circle, and that was the first event that I was even invited to. So I was thinking, like, who comes, like who would come home, and I don't know anybody. Why would anybody come to my house and we will talk about Baba or read Baba's books? But any which ways, it stayed in my heart and head, and I let it be. Then 2 days later, when this happened, we were there and she spoke about this. And then Meher Aunty came. So Meher Aunty is another integral part of my journey. We may not be talking every day, but I know that she's deeply, deeply connected to my life's Baba journey. And I love her a lot. So Meher Aunty came and spoke about her mother and so on, and I instantaneously felt this deep connect with her. And while we were all eating and everything, I got invited that there is a gathering in Meher Auntie's house, which she regularly has. So please come over. I said, okay. And then I thought that I should get the courage and speak out. So again, Farzeen, Somit, Cyrus, they all were standing together with plates to eat in the eating area. And I just randomly shared my heart to Cyrus that, I got this dream and I don't know what it is, but I want to call people. And would people come to my house? I don't know. But do you think that can happen and we can do that? And Cyrus just briefly said, of course, anybody can do, Baba's gathering. And if Baba wants, of course, it will happen. And that's all that we spoke. And in Meher Auntie's event, the gathering that we went after the thing, when I told Meher aunty about my dream, she says, "You must do it. So, kab kar rahe ho?" And I said, "I don't know. I got this that 16th October I should do." Now I had no clue. I had read no Baba's literature, nothing at all. So she said, "Acha, 16th October." I said, "Yeah, why?" I said, "I don't know. I just got the 16th October ko I should call and then keep calling people to my house." So she said, "You know 16th October kya hai?" I said, "No." And then she briefly told me about the new life period that started on 16th October. And in 2011, that's where our home satsang started. And Baba started gracing the little home wherever we went. Wherever he wanted to stay on rent, I would say, we kept shifting. And it is since 2011. And first, when it started, there were few of my clients who were coming, or my students of the workshops and all. And 3-4 of us would meet, and one or two those thin Avatar Meher Baba introduction book, gray color book, that time it was. So I would read a few things from there, and we would just share something or the other. And then in 2013 is when Murthy uncle, Pramila ji, and everyone started coming, and and more people started joining in Baba's love for the satsangs to happen. And I'm so grateful to Baba for this opportunity in his love that he gives us, that every month we have been able to meet. And then even during COVID, we were able to do that as East West Satsang on Zoom, and continue doing it, in fact, every Saturday thereafter. So I'm just trying to think, there's just so much. Okay, so another important event was with my father. So in 2000, now I'm the first generation, so to speak, Baba lover. There is nobody back and forth in my family who was a Baba lover earlier or even spoke of Baba. And in 2014, I was supposed to go every year, that I go for those last 2-3 years in for Baba's birthday, and I was on the wait list. And 3-4 of us were going together. All three of them dropped out, but I kept on, and I said, even if it is waitlist, I will just go. So 2 days before that, I got in my dream that Dad is standing inside the samadhi, and I'm getting that I should bring Dad on his birthday to Baba. And I was so my dad had prostrate issues, my dad had chronic arthritis, he had chronic colitis. So going to the bathroom and all, and a 6-hour journey and stuff was like unimaginable with him. And I was like thinking what to do, and I'm on waiting list, and 2 days before, if I have to take Dad, I have to take his surrounding caregiving team as well. So I have to take my chotu moto everyone. So how will I get at MPR? But nonetheless, by then this strength was there, that if something is coming into me, I have to do it. No questions asked ke kem thase, su thase, kaise hoga, kya hoga. I will just do it with my human action. Then whatever Baba has to do, let Baba do. And I sent out the mail, and I got a house full, of course, that there is full, and Dad's mail also, a waiting list came on. And I just got this strong urge to call up the MPR, and I called up, and whoever at the reception. So at that time, nobody was at the reception, and our other Ritesh and all of them who sit that time picked up the call. And I said that I want to know if there is, so that mail of no had not come to me yet, but I was waiting that, okay, now I will get. So before the mail could come, after I sent out the mail, I called up and I said that I really want to bring my dad. Is there space? No, there is no space. I said, please see, if the ground floor toilet attached room is free. And he's like, "Arey, I'm saying कि पूरा full है, तो आप specification दे रहे हो कि toilet side का room free है क्या?" And I was like, please, एक बार just see in the computer if it is free. And then I will know whether to do arrangements for him to, otherwise I'm to coming any which ways. I know my waiting list is there. So with great hesitancy, I think, I don't know then who else was there on duty, came on duty, and then on request was just seeing through that, okay, I'm seeing on the screen. And then just says, oh my God, this is not possible, Baba. And I said, what happened? I saying no, the 107, I don't know, whatever the 100 whatever the room on the ground floor of the male wing touching the toilet attached to the bathroom was free and for the three people. And saying this is impossible because of the full wing was booked. There is no possible that this could be skipped and this room could be available. And then with Baba's grace, I was not confirmed. My daddy got confirmed with my chotu and the driver who was there with us, who also was caretaking with of dad. And we went, and that was a trip. We first met Noshirwan Anzar as well, and I got to know that Noshirwan is the cousin of my childhood friend, who we were born and grown up in our building in Grant Road. So things were coming into a circle from where Baba was, connecting everything. And then one fine day, I am at my last job just before leaving. I was working with Sunil Shetty's company, and there is this architecture book which is there, and Spenta Media handles advertising and all, and they had come to us, and I was flipping through that, and suddenly I see in an article over there a picture of me 11 years old standing with a pose. I said, what the heck, how is this picture in this book? So I read the article, and it was Sunni Taraporwala's article about pictures that she had randomly taken of Parsis across her lifespan. And Sunni was a Facebook friend by then, and also she was a filmmaker, so I knew of her from that angle. And I said, oh my god, I never knew Sunni took my picture. Like, so I immediately called her and I said, do you know that I saw this picture? He said, is that really you? I said, yes, I'm telling you, that's me. He says, okay, tomorrow you come to Fort at this and this, I forgot the gallery's name, and it is the last day of the exhibition of my pictures from the book Parsis, and you have to come. So I went over there, and another event happened there. But nonetheless, so it was a blown up picture and put over there in the gallery. And then she made me stand next to the picture to take a picture together of the childhood and me. But what struck me while I stood in front of the picture was that I'm standing exactly next to the big board which said B. Merwan and Company.
Are wah.
And no, it's okay, Sam uncle, you can laugh.
May I interrupt for a minute?
Please, of course, please. I'll just have some water.
Couple of years ago, that is about 4 or 5 years ago, we were at this Thursday meeting, and somebody joked about this B. Merwan and Company. And I don't know what made me say this, but I said, we should all be or become like Merwan. That is what B. Merwan stands for. So, that was it.
How lovely.
I don't know if Rustam Dotiwala is around, he might endorse this. I remember he was there when I said this. Anyway, carry on.
Thank you. It's so beautiful. Yes.
Merwan, yes, become Merwan.
Yes. And that is what Baba tells us through everything. So, and then of course 2012 was very, very poignant in my life when I I'd got this that I should take regular buses to Mehrabad, and I saw this bus full of people that I'm taking. So I just got up one fine day, called up my students, come, I'm taking a bus, you all want to come to Mehrabad? I say, yeah, let's go. And we were 14 or 15 of us. Meher was there in that first trip as well, with her husband Kurush, and we all went to Mehrabad, and that was the trip in which I received from dearest Bhauji, Bhau Kalchuri, my lifelong gift of name Roshni from Baba. So it was completely, really, really uncanny of how that even happened, but that's again a long story. but in short, that I got that name gifted, and when Bhauji gave it, I started profusely crying. And then Bhauji just holds my hand, and Bhauji didn't know me personally or anything of knowing details about me. And he just holds my hand and then says, "You are Meher's Roshni. You are Mother Light, and Mother Light never cries." And at that point in time, it was that, may I only and only cry in gratitude of your love and nothing else. And was felt guided, felt by what Bhauji mentioned, that use this name for life now. And therefore I keep on earnestly requesting to so many of my old friends who find it difficult to move away from my birth name to call me Roshni, but yet the process is on and the request is on. So that's how my journey from Shanaz to Roshni happened. And then everything else, one after the other, kept on following. In 2015, I got to, know about Gokan uncles and Urmila aunties, extensive research which they had done, and wanted to make a film on that. Again, Farzu and Somit said that, Roshni could make it, and I got involved. And then my Whistling Woods people supported me in completely sponsoring the film, in the entire editing, dubbing, and making the
What
film.
was this?
The unique silence of Avatar Meher Baba, which was premiered to commemorate the 90th anniversary of Baba's silence in 2015. It was made for the Avatar Meher Baba Center Trust, Ahmednagar.
So is it possible to view it again before
Yes.
the 10th of July? Because we are
Yes.
coming
Yes.
into another silence anniversary.
Yes, would love to. There is a DVD, and there is a DVD in Bombay Center as well, and would love to, if you could, we could screen that. So my friends from the film industry, Manini and Apurva Agnihotri.
Next Thursday? Is
Haji?
it possible? Can we view it on next Thursday or whenever after?
Sure.
How long is it for?
It is 45 minutes.
Okay, good.
It is 45 minutes. So whenever you want to.
We'll fix up something.
Haji, Jarur the. So that film happened, and then the same 2015, 16th of July, which is my earthly father's birthday, we launched our YouTube channel, Meher Baba Love God. And with the kind efforts, love, and support of our encyclopedia, Cyrus Kambata, who was, for me, will always remain an intrinsic inspiration and support for my, Baba journey. So we started this series called To Love and Live God. Now, the reason to this title was that I always felt that, we read so much of books, we read things, there's influx of so many other, things that come into our life, internet pe se, idhar se, udhar se, and everything gets jammed. But what do we do with all of this knowledge? How can I live even one word of Baba? Which means to put it into action into my everyday life. What are those things that can be implemented? Many things are completely unfathomable. They are about our soul's journey to merging into God and Nirvikalp Samadhi and all. I'm not talking of all of that. I was constantly thinking, this flesh and blood life, how can I live Baba's words? What can I do that these words can become action? And that's how Love and Live God in Everyday Life was born. And we extracted excerpts and quotes and Baba's, words, which would help us to be infused into daily life. And with Cyrus, we did the 70 episode series, which still people love and ask, when are we doing? And I keep asking Cyrus, when are we doing? And Baba willing, I'm sure when he wills it, it will happen overnight, just like those 70 episodes happened overnight almost. And we will continue to make those snippets that can help us to hold on to Baba in, daily life as we go along. So, with that, I don't know, there's just so much I don't know. And yes, one important thing was, again coming back to the miracles part of it, Baba dissuaded us from being attached to miracles. But just the fact of knowing Baba's name, being in his fold in these 100 years of manifestation, which as per Baba is a very important time. We are a blessed miracle by ourselves. And Haji Samangal, sorry.
Absolutely, I said. I agree, 100%.
And there is all these attachments of going to Meherabad. I couldn't go to Amar Tithi for the first 2-3 years, and everybody would say, Baba has said, okay, don't come the full year, but only on Amar Tithi. If you can, then you must come. So those kind of things, as a newbie, I kept on hearing. I said, hey Baba, you're not calling me on Amar Tithi. And I would always cry and pine. And then on in 2014, when I was saying the same thing, I had this thing of, I am where you are. Meherabad is where you are, and release this attachment. And something got lifted out of my heart. That pining got lifted out, and I didn't have this thing of, oh my God, Baba is not calling me. And then in 2015, I could go for Amar Tithi. So I realized how Baba works on small attachments. And this is not just about spiritual things and all of that. For me, it is to see Baba in my everyday life. Every time that Baba's face appeared on something, I've got Baba's face come on a moth, in between the moth's wings. I have a Baba face on my sofa cover, which stayed for 4.5 years, exactly like that, with 50 people, 100 people sitting over there. To several things. But that was not miraculous. Every time that I caught a glimpse of that, it told me that he is wanting to tell, I'm in everyone and everything. His face was also there on the toilet tile. And we have this thing, oh, toilet is cheap, not to think of God. Bhagwan ko koi yaad thodi karta hai toilet mein baith ke. So all of these, I feel, as we say, chochlepan, Baba cuts them all. As that happened with discourses when I started reading them. And I would always wonder, because by that time I had never heard many people talking about 7 realities. People talk about many other things, Baba quotes and Baba's my wish and those kind of things, the last call and all. I'd never heard much. So I kept on thinking that the 7 realities were the first and foremost thing that Baba has written. The opening of discourses is the 7 realities. So how important would those be if Baba stated that's right at the onset? And then as I read through discourses over a period of time, I felt within my understanding and my heart that the discourses almost was an expansion of the 7 realities. And then I would keep marking the paragraphs or passages that connected to each reality. And my full book is with pencil markings and, those post-its. And that's when in 2016, with this deep contemplation of constantly asking Baba, how can I bring these 7 realities into my life? How can I live these 7 realities in my daily part and parcel of life, Baba? Baba gifted the meditation, which we did during the COVID times also. For 60 consecutive weeks, a diligent group of Baba lovers, we used to meet every Saturday and did the 7 realities meditation. And that for me was the hugest gift that Baba gave at that time, for bringing and to imprint the 7 realities. And I would like to read out the 7 realities over here.
Please do.
Meher Baba's teaching gives no importance to creed, dogma, caste systems, and the performance of religious ceremonies and rites, but to the understanding of the following 7 realities. Reality 1. The only real existence is that of the one and only God, who is the self in every finite self. Reality 2. The only real love is the love for this infinity, God, which arouses an intense longing to see, know, and become one with its truth, God. The only real sacrifice is that in which, in pursuance of this love, all things, body, mind, position, welfare, and even life itself, are sacrificed. The only real renunciation is that which abandons, even in the midst of worldly duties, all selfish thoughts and desires. The only real knowledge is the knowledge that God is the inner dweller in good people and so-called bad, in saint and so-called sinner. This knowledge requires you to help all equally as circumstances demand, without expectation of reward, and when compelled to take part in a dispute, to act without the slightest trace of enmity or hatred, to try to make others happy with brotherly or sisterly feeling for each one, to harm no one in thought, word, or deed, not even those who harm you. The only real control is the discipline of the senses from indulgence in low desires, which alone ensures absolute purity of character. The only real surrender is that in which the poise is undisturbed by any adverse circumstances, and the individual amidst every kind of hardship is resigned with perfect calm to the will of God. This message was especially significant because for the first time Baba ordered thousands of copies of it printed and then sent to his disciples and followers throughout India in order for them to distribute wherever they lived. Dr. Ghani and Adi Senior in Bangalore headed up the printing and distribution task, and the thousands and thousands of copies of this message were handed out throughout India and then sent to Europe and America in the beginning months of 1941. Baba's mandali were sent out to various cities in India and instructed particularly to give it to priests and persons in charge of temples, mosques, ashrams and churches. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. So this part, that particularly to give it to priests and persons in charge of temples, mosques, ashrams and churches, somewhere triggered and gave me this, inner feeling that with the way I had seen that everybody who came to, me through the work that Baba put me into was just a mere candle to reach the sun. And just like these 7 realities were reached out to priests and people of, seeming leadership, say simple words, not authority, but simple leadership where, they can tell people and people can listen. And I felt that somewhere this work, had to be done. Otherwise, why would Baba uproot me from 23 years of being in films and media to get into the spiritual work that I did? And when everything, there was a lot of dissuasion of what I always heard. And to stick to Baba's words of what Baba has said about healing, of what Baba has said about never utilizing his name, that Baba speaks to me and channels and all of these things. And all of these things were adhered to at the dotted line of what Baba wanted. That never ever will you allow me to ever say these things, Baba. And I saw that this work is only a mere small cobblestone step for us to come together. And then his journey, as he says, take my name just to the ears, and then from the ears to the heart is his work. That's what he did. And today, like almost I can say 90% of students or people who have come have got on their own journey with Baba. And that has been the beauty. And yes, there has been a lot of things of, people do accuse you of, utilizing Baba's name. And when we made those videos and series, why these series have to be made? And my only thing was that it is futile to even think that we can use God. God uses us the way He wants. And when He says, not even a leaf moves without His will, how can anything else happen? And if my or anybody else's work can bring down Baba from the status of the highest of the high, then we don't know who Baba really is. And for me, it was that I have to only and only please Him. If it was not meant to be, this was not meant to be, He would not put me in this spot. And it is Him doing what He has to do. I've got nothing to do with it. And that truly is so. For each and everything, there are people who laugh, there are people who talk behind my back, there are people who do whatever, but each to their own, and they are still a wonderful part of my life. Because for me, this part, in the 7 realities, that God is the indweller in the good and the so-called bad, that's where Baba helped. For everybody who spoke things, or for everybody who had harmed me, I would copy paste Baba's face onto that person in prayers. Now, I cannot get angry with Baba. I cannot curse Baba. I cannot, retaliate and react with Baba. And that helped me to forgive more and more. And that's how that reality came into action, into life. That I will copy paste Baba's face. Whoever says anything to me, irritates me, agitates me, copy paste Baba, and I would see something going out. Yes, Sam uncle.
Roshni, you mean to say you never fought with Baba?
I fought. No, honestly, I've not fought. But I would say, Baba, please do this. Everybody says not to ask you. You have said not to ask. But then who should I ask? You are the only one. So I will still ask you. You want to give, you give. You don't want to give, you don't give. Now I'll tell you very simple, like, in how everyday life, people, so many times we think that, you kind of so-called do any spiritual work and all of that, and everybody thing goes hunky-dory. It is not so. So there was this very nice statement that came once, that higher the degree, tougher the exam. And with Baba, that is how it is. So not once but 3 times, every time that we had to change the house, Baba has done this, where I have been absolutely without a house with 60 boxes packed, where the landlord has gone away and said on the day of signing, I don't want to give you a house, and I have to give the keys to the other landlord. And I've said, Baba, you do what you want. You take me where you want to live. And within a day, another house has been there. But there has been no fighting. There has been a lot of asking. I ask a lot, but I'm not attached to the asking. With His grace, I allow Him. And you won't believe, when we shifted in just before the COVID, when I had my fall at Mehrabad, just when I went to volunteer, and I was like, Baba, you got me first time volunteering, and your first day only you made me fall. Now you have to make me complete this. Why you made me fall on the first day? But that was so. Then I still completed the thing. And for me, this is one big Amar Titi Prasad. God knows how many lifetimes of sanskaras He jhadued in that one fall. And nick in time, I came to Bombay on 2nd of February. 7th of February, when Baba's body was interred, my knee surgery was going on. 3 weeks later, my physiotherapy was closing, and I had this strong urge to come for the Dhuni. And everybody, my doctor said, you can't travel and this and that. And I said, no, I'm getting this, that I have to go for this Dhuni. So much against everybody's wishes, I ended up going for the Dhuni. I got Jal Kaka out of the blue, right at the nth moment, calling me up to light the Dhuni. And that was the last that Samadhi was open before COVID. 14th March, we came back. And 18th March, the lockdown was, So every day it is, in honest prayer, that he knows the best. If he wants to give me answers of why something is happening, then good. Now I'm not, earlier I would be attached to answers. And as I said, small things, like he has taken away the attachment to simple things. I loved watches, he took that away. Non-veg went away. So there are so many things. They may not be highly, this is not encountering spiritual thing and this left. I'm saying that small things is where God's big hand lies. And that came in reconfirmation while reading one of the lovely stories of Balnatu in Conversations with the Awakener, where in one of the stories, Balnatu is very sad, and Baba comes in, and Baba asks him, he says, no, I don't want to tell you, I don't want to trouble you with small things. So just in gist, I'm just saying, these are not the actual words. And he says, but why not tell me? He says, no, why call, your status, why should I call you for small matters? And that's where the Awakener says that when you call me for small matters and remember me in small matters, you will see my hand in big matters.
Wow.
And what came to me while praying after I read that story, that it is in the small things that our ego lies. अरे ये तो हमारा बाएं हाथ का खेल है, ये तो मैं ऐसे कर दूंगा, ये तो मैं वैसे कर दूंगी. That's where the ego is. And so asking and inviting Baba in the smallest of the things changed my life. And it may sound silly and stupid, but for everything, whether I'm not liking something, whether it is to choose a movie on Netflix, Baba, what to watch today, if I'm constipated, Baba, please. So it can be anything from small to big to stupid to silly, but Baba is there. And for me, that's what love and live Baba in everyday life means. So yeah, there is lots and lots, Uncle. I could just go on like my Balaji's Saas Bahu soap operas, but we can, if anything, to ask and share, and then I will sing one more.
Anybody wants to ask anything? This thing about calling Baba, inviting him, small things. Small things. It's making him your constant companion. It's like a mad Babaji doing barbar. You know how some mad Babajis do barbar? Something similar to that on those lines, but from within, from your heart. Chatting with him, talking to him. Baba jamba aao ji, khana khane ko aiye. Whatever.
True.
This please him for the simple reason that this idiot of mine remembers me so nicely for so many times. It's not just during the prayer, Jai Baba, everything, and then till next day morning, 24 hours, again I will say Jai Baba. No, that's not the way to be. He has to be with us all the time. And that is why, this is a small secret of mine, I often fight with him also. मजा आया तुम्हें? Ticket down कर दी, मजा आया तुम्हें? Because I feel when you love someone, you have this liberty or this freedom to fight. Like how you fought with your parents sometimes. There was nothing, no malice involved, but he just did it.
Yeah.
Baba knows, stupid fellow is like that. Yes, Mayor, I'll tell you in a minute. So that is how it is.
Yes. Yes, absolutely, absolutely true. And there's this quote of Baba which actually was very poignant before we started our NGO in 2013. So I'll just read that part and one quote. Instead of performing ceremonies and rituals mechanically as age old customs, if people were to serve their fellow beings with selfless love, taking God to be residing in one and all, and that by so serving others, they are serving God, my work will have been fulfilled.
Shabash.
And
I
this
admire your memory.
and another quote where which also is in our Baba planner, which is my favorite quote. In the world of spirituality, one second, let me
Yeah.
in the world of spirituality, humility counts as much as utility.
Who's done this?
I have painted it. This is
Very
the
nicely done, yeah. Very nicely done.
This is the Baba planner that we created. So these Baba merchandise were created when we started after the NGO, that rather than just, yes, plain donations are important to come, but also make things which are exchanged where people will be graced with something of Baba, and that money will be utilized for donation rather than the vanilla donations that will come in, but to utilize such things whereby there is an exchange of Baba getting into somebody's life through these little items in some way or the other. And we created this beautiful planner this year where from Jyoti ji's mother, who is almost 91 or so, picked up her colors after 40 plus years and started coloring, to our mighty auntie who sends me her lovely artwork, where we have a habit tracker to spend 5 minutes of silence with Baba every day, and you can tick mark the heart after you've done that. 5 minutes of contemplating on Baba's quote, which is there of the month, which is put in there, and you can spend time coloring and meditating on Baba and remembering him while you color that.
Beautiful.
So in everything it was that utilization, and it is there in Baba's quote also, one of the quotes words to effect, that to utilize the knowledge that we have already got is the more important part than just getting more and more knowledge. So in everything that is there, I seek Baba's love and help. So there's this one line, the fighting part that you were saying, I've not had fighting, but yes, arguments, as I said, Baba, please let this happen and then leave it. Okay, Baba, it is not going to come. You don't want to tell me right now. Okay, fine. So it made me remember of this Hindi line of Marzi and Arzi. Yeah. So in this, it's arzi hamari, marzi aapki. And you leave it in his hands, whether he wants to give it, when he wants to give it. And you let him do the needful.
Yes. Just a minute. Mayor Daruwala wants to ask something. Go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, Roshni, could you tell the thing about how you had met about that boy once you were mentioning to us, and you were talking to him? He was not a Baba boy, this thing. You met him somewhere in Andheri.
Who boy? Sorry, Mayor, I don't. Which boy? Like in
He
what
was
connection?
a boy, a poor boy who came and helped you to take your bag, and you said he didn't have shoes on his feet, and you were talking.
Ah, no, he didn't. No. He didn't pick up bags. He was somebody who sells things at the signal. That's all. So,
I thought it was in this connection about
no.
with the NGO thing. That's so good.
No. So yes, he was somebody who I would regularly see at the signal selling things without footwear, and then we took on to pay for his, municipal school and stuff like that. But that is, we have now just with Baba's grace. I always wanted to do something in Mehrabad, and with Baba's love and grace, we have started a children's center in Mehrabad for the village kids, and we have 36 children coming every single day. They are being taught, they are learning hygiene, they learn yoga, they learn poems, they learn Ustad Dhanyavad, they learn Baba songs, they are nourished with milk, biscuits, dry fruits every single day. We have teachers and boys who are employed We just did a medical camp for 65 of them, including the mothers, and got the medicines and all that the doctors prescribed by tying up with a hospital in Ahmednagar. And we plan to do the medical camp every 3 to 4 months for them to keep them. We had an eye checkup for them. So a couple of them have got spectacles. So they are all going to go to Nagar for a field trip to get specs done. And it's just sheer joy to see Baba in each one of them, enjoying and rejoicing in his love. And I'm just so grateful for every breath that Baba has gifted.
May Baba keep you strong to serve him long. Yes, that's what I like saying
Thank you.
from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much, Samankar.
May he keep you strong to serve him long.
Thank you so much. There are these two, there's this quote of Baba of the two important things. To a devotee, Baba once gave these two spiritual secrets, as he called them. One, never to hurt the heart of another, because that is where God resides. And always to be grateful, to give thanks to God every day.
The
And
Hindi version of it is Mandir Todo, Masjid Todo. मगर किसी का दिल मत तोड़ो क्योंकि वही खुदा का घर है.
yes,
It's the house of God.
yes,
We don't realize this. We are very flippant. We don't think when we are all are guilty of this. But as this knowledge dawns on us, the Baba's teachings filter in, then slowly and slowly.
yes. So, can I sing something before? Is it time or do we have time?
We
I
still
don't know.
have 9 minutes to go.
Okay, all right. So, I'll first read out something that Baba gifted as words, and then I will sing the Aarti Meher Raj.
Okay. Arey wah, very good.
उम्मीद है आंखों में उम्मीद है आंखों में मौत भी है आंखों में एक से आंखें चमक उठती है तो दूसरे से झुकती है उम्मीद है आंखों में मौत भी है आंखों में एक से आंसू छलकते हैं तो दूसरे से आंसू सूखते हैं उम्मीद है आंखों में मौत भी है आंखों में एक की खुशियां मैंने कई बार देखी है एक की खुशियां मैंने कई बार देखी है तो दूसरे की खामोश झलक मेरे करीब से गुजरी है
Wow.
एक की खुशियां मैंने कई बार देखी है तो दूसरे की खामोश झलक मेरे करीब से गुजरी है उम्मीद है आंखों में मौत भी है आंखों में मेरे रूह की ये दुआ है मेरे रूह की ये दुआ है कि जब उस दूसरे से मुलाकात हो कि जब उस दूसरे से मुलाकात हो तब भी उम्मीद कायम रहे बाबा तब भी उम्मीद कायम रहे सिर्फ तुम्हें मिलने की इन छोटी सी आंखों में सिर्फ तुम्हें मिलने की इन छोटी सी आंखों में ओ मेहर तब भी उम्मीद कायम रहे अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. ये आंखें छोटी सी नहीं है. छोटी सी आंखें.
I'll
The fact that it can contain his image. It's a very evolved आंखें. Very evolved आंखें. Go ahead.
thank you. I'll just have some water and sing Meher Raj. Please forgive for any mistake or tune. I'm just learned it recently. Just one second. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. मेहर राज आराज तू जगत माज बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे काज. सुखनो सागर स्वरूप सुंदर ज्ञाननो भंडार जगने खातिर उपाधिया छे दुखों ते आपार. धजा तारी दूजावे सर्वे देवों ने बदकार सुख शांति बख्शे छे तू सौ संतों ने आपार. भेगा करी हम बंदों ने सर्वे देखावियो आत्मिक सार सिखा दियो हमने संत मार ते ईश्वरी अवतार. जात भेद ते दूर करीने कीधा सर्वे एक सार खरो खुदानो ख्याल बख्शो आय ओ मेहरबान. मन हमारू हरण करीने कापिया पाप अपार सर्वे सुखो ना भोगे ते कीधा छे उपकार. शरण छे तुझने सर्वे जेवो रहे छे तुझनी पास बके छे तेवो अंजान जेवो ना जाने तुझने खास. रचे छे बाजी तरे तरेनी राखी एक विचार बचावे जीवड़ा तोड़ावे साकर शिखावीने प्यार. अरज हमारी कबूली दे जो तरावी हमने पार सर्वे स्वर्गो ना मालिक छो तमे जगना तारनहार. तलब तमारी करी छे कुल संतों ने जरदार कर नसीब सेवा तुझनी ओ खुदाई अवतार. मेहर राज आराज तुझनु त्रणे जगत माज बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे काज. सुखनो सागर स्वरूप सुंदर ज्ञाननो भंडार जगने खातिर उपाधिया छे दुखों ते आपार. मेहर राज आराज तुझनो त्रणे जगत मां बांधी बैठा छे आश तुझ पर छोड़ी सर्वे का. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय.
Beautiful. Okay. Anybody who has any questions, say it now or hold your peace forever. बोलो बोलो कुछ तो बोलो.
Nothing, I don't think so.
Anybody wants to ask anything, say anything, comment on anything?
Jai Baba to everyone first. Hi Archana.
Over Jai Baba, come in.
Hey, Baba.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
हाँ जी हाँ जी.
Okay. Roshni, I was very happy to hear about the good work you're doing at Mehrabad for the children. So suppose one wants to put some input there. Obviously, one would want to be present physically. But is there any scope of any online teaching to these children? If
We are trying to Archana, because we've just got a laptop, a second-hand laptop over there, but due to signal issues and all, online thing thoda bhi problem hai. But we are trying to see if a good geo dongle can help out, and Baba willing, soon we will try to see either I can get a Wi-Fi over there or something, and then we could. But that is in thoughts, and on and off. Of course, I do video calls and also. We have that, but for one of things, a little chota time ke liye, it's fine. But for
Right.
teaching, that whole 1 hour or half an hour we need
yes,
with
I
them.
know the network is
Right.
little there. Yes. you're right.
Correct. So we are trying to see the means on that, and then of course.
Okay, I
But
would really love to help in some way if I can.
sure, we can WhatsApp, and we can discuss whatever possibilities of how you could
Surely.
support.
Lovely session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Archana, I have something to ask for you.
Yes, tell me, Sam.
What is your full name? Archana, middle name? What is the middle name?
No, that is my maiden surname, Anand. My full name is Archana Sunil Grover, but I write Anand because that was my maiden surname. So, friends can
S है
recognize.
ना, सुनील का जो S है,
Ah.
I interpret it as a stranger because you have come on our program after
Yes,
quite
after
a
2-3
few.
weeks. Yes, you're right.
So Archana Stranger Grover is your name.
Jai Baba.
Please don't give us such a long break. Yeah.
No, I was just compelled. Too many commitments happening on the same day and all. So that is.
कभी कभी हो जाता है, मगर हम बंदों का भी ख्याल रखा
Me, I love this program. Today also I joined in late. I was so keen to hear Roshni, but I joined in at 6 o'clock today. I was out and I rushed back and I said I have to hear her. So, but very beautiful.
Always look it up on the Facebook because the whole recording will be there. So
Yeah, I do that. I
पता
do.
चल जाएगा. Okay, anybody else want to do anything?
We could all sing Ustad Dhanyavad together.
Go ahead.
Everybody.
Together,
Ah.
I mean, it goes haywire, You sing it.
Like, okay, so wait, then let me play Meher Dhoon, and we'll end with Meher Dhoon and Australian Aarti. Is that okay, Sam uncle?
Quickly, yeah. Because
Haji.
it's about 7 o'clock.
Yes, and then we end it with that.
There's a lady called Cherry who wants us to play उस्ताद धन्यवाद सब साथ में.
Yes. So then let's sing Ustad Dhanyavad and then we'll end it with Meherdun.
Okay.
Okay, so we can all sing. All right. Ustad Dhanyavad. Ustad Dhanyavad. Ustad Ustad Dhanyavad. Oh Meher. Dhanyavad Meher. Dhanyavad Meher. Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher. Dhanyavad Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. और मस्त धन्यवाद. और मस्त धन्यवाद. और मस्त धन्यवाद. और मस्त धन्यवाद. Zartush धन्यवाद. Zartush धन्यवाद. Zartush धन्यवाद. Zartush धन्यवाद. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. रामा धन्यवाद. रामा धन्यवाद. रामा धन्यवाद. रामा धन्यवाद. कृष्णा धन्यवाद. कृष्णा धन्यवाद. कृष्णा धन्यवाद. कृष्णा धन्यवाद. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. बुद्धा धन्यवाद. बुद्धा धन्यवाद. बुद्धा धन्यवाद. बुद्धा धन्यवाद. Sorry. Jesus धन्यवाद. Jesus धन्यवाद. Jesus धन्यवाद. Jesus धन्यवाद. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. अल्लाह धन्यवाद. अल्लाह धन्यवाद. अल्लाह धन्यवाद. अल्लाह धन्यवाद. मोहम्मद धन्यवाद. मोहम्मद धन्यवाद. मोहम्मद धन्यवाद. मोहम्मद धन्यवाद. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. मेहर बाबा धन्यवाद. मेहर बाबा धन्यवाद. मेहर बाबा धन्यवाद. बाबा धन्यवाद. मेहर बाबा धन्यवाद. मेहर बाबा धन्यवाद. मेहर बाबा धन्यवाद. बाबा धन्यवाद. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. ओ Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. धन्यवाद Meher. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Now I will share the screen for Meherdun and Australian Aarti. This is our video actually done by our constant companion, and as Sam uncle rightly said, that's where the name and the group of constant companion had come by 7-8 years back when we started our WhatsApp family. So Baba be our constant companion at all times.
Baba, Meher 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 Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, meher, I give to you to keep. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the day. Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. We'll have 1 minute of silence. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Jai
Jai.
Baba, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Jai Baba Cherry.
Jai Baba, everyone. Good night in Baba's love.
Cherry,
Yes, Jai Baba Sam uncle.
the first time in my life I've seen someone sing with a headstand, doing a headstand. Your picture was upside down. Ustad Dhanyawad was actually upside down. Did you realize that?
Baba turned me 360 degree.
It was fun. It was fun. Hello. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sam Uncle. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being there and sharing in Baba's love.
Jai Baba,
This
Jai
time
Baba.
and space. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you.
Baba with you, all of us.
Thank you, Janice. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, everyone.
Let us thank Baba and Baba alone.
Yes.
Nobody else. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Jai Meher Baba. Jai Meher Baba. Thank you,
Thank
Baba,
you,
for
Baba.
everything.
Avatar Meher Baba ki
Baba
Jai.
ki Jai.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.